have a block, like a writer's block, an artist's block, maybe even a decision block? You might feel like something is holding you back. Maybe you're the person who freezes up or distracts themselves or procrastinates. Or maybe you're a person who moves about frantically, doing a lot of unproductive things. Today we're talking about how to use self-appreciation to help you take action and overcome these kinds of blocks. Welcome to The Modern Creative Woman, exploring the art and science of creativity. I'm your hostess and creativity expert, Dr. Amy Backos. Let's get started. So, are you facing a creative block? I was so happy to hear from members in The Modern Creative Woman that creative thinking and, you guessed it, gratitude and appreciation have been helping women get unstuck from their blocks. And I am loving it. Today, I want to take a deep dive into appreciation and how that shift from gratitude to appreciation can make a huge difference for you, especially when you're struggling to overcome some kind of blocks. I know I talk a lot about the women in the group membership here on the podcast, and they really inspired me to create a podcast in the first place. One thing I don't talk that much about here is really where it all started, and that's with the creativity coaching that I do. And it's definitely more of a luxury to have a one-on-one coach to cultivate your creativity. I really do love the personalized packages for women who want to elevate their leadership by cultivating what's often a missing ingredient in their lives, especially for professional women. Of course, it's creativity. If you've been touched by excellence in arts and literature, luxury, innovation, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. These things are really the outward expression or manifestation of our own creative thinking. Each woman is so unique, and it's been really an honor to sort out what needs need to be strengthened and what things need to be released to unleash creative potential and overcome blocks. I'm running a wait list right now, but if this kind of detailed attention to creativity speaks to you, definitely stay tuned for this podcast where we're talking all about how a shift to a creative perspective on gratitude can allow you the freedom to move forward in really incredible ways. And if this bespoke luxury packages about creativity speak to you, well, you know where to find me. But before we jump into our conversation about appreciation, I just wanted to let you know what's happening over here at the Modern Creative Woman headquarters. If you have yet to join the 21-day gratitude challenge, get in here if you want to work on peace in the world. We all know it starts with cultivating inner peace and then building that peace into our family. The gratitude challenge is free. You don't have to sign up for anything. All you need to do is download the creativity journal, and it's full of space to write, reflect, make a little art. There's a daily workbook page and some really good information about how gratitude works. When you download it, you have the option if you want to sign up for The Creative Woman. That's my digital magazine. It's free, comes out once a month. And I really hope that you'll pass on the Gratitude Challenge workbook to other women that you know who want to work towards inner and outer peace. And I'm using the hashtag Modern Gratitude if you're inspired. Another thing happening over here is the Paris retreat. And I just hosted an amazing treasure hunt online class with Aurora Devoli of Girl Boss Paris. And it was so much fun to work with her. It's really great to have a co-teacher that you're inspired by. And I do think we are quite compatible. We taught 3 creative thinking techniques, 2 style and branding activities, and we let you in on one powerful question that can change the way you think for the rest of your life. You can watch the recording of this on the Modern Creative Woman website, so moderncreativewoman.com/treasure hunt Paris. You can find it in the show notes as well. And this is such a dream retreat for me. It's exactly what I would want to go to when I think about going on retreats, and I've led many of them. And I've always used the model of preparing people in advance. And so this retreat, of course, includes 5 or 6 months, depending on when you sign up, of coaching before the trip. And that's an individual consultation with Aurora, one with me. Then it concludes in 5 magical days in Paris. I'm pretty excited. Aurora talked about negotiating a great deal with a luxury hotel in the Madeleine neighborhood. And I looked it up, and that whole neighborhood is known for the fine boutique shopping. They even have what they called luxury grocery stores, cafes. It's total French luxury right in the middle of the city. And I think for the price, you're really getting a total transformation in your wellness, your creativity, your style. Aurora did some coaching on the class about how to elevate your look without a single purchase. So check out that recording. Find it in the show notes. So if that sounds good, remember early bird pricing ends at the end of November. It also comes with 2 delightful bonuses if you register and pay in full. So I want to encourage you to register as soon as possible for extra savings and extra bonuses. And you can find me on Instagram and message me there. I'm happy to set up a time to send you some information and chat. All right, let's take a deep dive on appreciation. And appreciation is really about going deep. And I think it is the missing ingredient when we're struggling to overcome some of our creativity blocks. I've had blocks in decision making that have lasted 4 years. I think the longest one was 3 years of thinking about should I or should I not. That's a long time to sit in indecision. So I want to share a quote by Kristen Neff, who's a psychologist and a woman who practices acceptance and commitment therapy. She says, to appreciate others' goodness while ignoring our own creates a false division between us and them. Have you ever thought of it that way? That by disregarding ourselves and only appreciating others, it's not very nice to the other person. It's this guard is put up that you value others and not yourself. It doesn't allow us to be our authentic self or truly connect with authenticity. Thich Nhat Hanh reminds us that you are a wonderful manifestation. The whole universe has come together to make your existence possible. So it really matters that you're here and you're part of your life. So let's describe what self-appreciation is. I've been describing gratitude and appreciation the last few weeks. But self-appreciation is celebrating our achievements. And it's certainly no more self-centered than having compassion for our failings. I think compassion is pretty popular in psychology books and trying to heal ourselves by just being a little nicer to ourselves. I think as modern creative women, we want to be self-actualized and live our purpose. So we can do better than just self-compassion. We can do a lot more. We can celebrate. Well, here's a really good reason why it's not selfish to celebrate yourself. It's impossible to claim full responsibility for our gifts and our talents. We have to consider our ancestors, the gene pool, our parents, caregivers, the generosity of friends over our lifetime, help from teachers, wisdom from our culture. Appreciation for our good qualities is really an expression of gratitude for everyone else who has shaped us as individuals. Kristen Neff says, self-appreciation humbly honors those who have helped us become the person we are today. Have you ever thought of self-appreciation as a form of gratitude towards others? I hadn't either. It wasn't until I began doing research a few months ago for this whole month of gratitude and the gratitude workbook that I came across that idea that celebrating ourselves really is honoring all the people who have supported us and helped us be who we are. I also think that we can use appreciation of ourselves to bring about more mindfulness so that we can make contact with the present moment. For example, we have to notice the good in others before we appreciate it. And so we also consciously need to notice and acknowledge our own positive features. And I think as women, we are often so focused on our mistakes and our flaws that we don't even really see it when we get things right or when things are going well. I thought of an example. When you think about past work or school evaluations, what sticks out Was it the 5 points of praise or the 1 point of criticism? I've definitely been in the spot where a point of criticism seemed to weigh 10 times more than all the positive things. If you're worried that you might focus too much on the good qualities so that you would forget about your negatives, that's really unlikely. I don't know any woman who has shifted from being down on herself and focusing on criticism to over focusing on the positive so that they're blind to the big picture. The truth is, we all have positive and negative traits, and we all have things that we like that maybe others don't. And if we focus on some kind of exaggerated story about being so great or so terrible, we have really lost contact with the present moment. When we exaggerate our shortcomings, it's not truth, it's an exaggeration. And it leads to rumination. It takes us away from living our lives. And remember, the goal is to accept ourselves just as we authentically are. When we accept ourselves, we can have some more balanced perspective. No better, no worse, just balanced. When we think about our abilities now as adults, we get to choose how we feel about ourselves. And we narrate our stories. Our brain is just hardwired to tell stories. And these stories about ourselves are learned developmentally. We start to view ourselves the way others view us. And that's how children begin to form their self-image. So these stories we tell ourselves are influenced by our families, developmental traumas, culture, past experiences. But we have a choice in if we're going to tell the same story over and over again. We can focus on the whole context of our lives. And some of these thoughts and negative self-judgments are part of our context, but it's the whole story that is our lives. I want to help you shift from a gratitude to a place of appreciation. So remember, gratitude is that quality of being thankful. It's defined as readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. Now, appreciation, on the other hand, is recognizing and enjoying the good qualities of something. And it takes a lot more integrative thinking to get to appreciation. So I have a couple ideas for you. Could you make a list of like 10 to 13 qualities that you have that you're grateful for? You can pause here, jot them down. If you are struggling to think of the qualities that you're grateful for, just imagine what I would say to you, or imagine what your best friend would say to you. How would they describe you? Once you have your list, pick out one that you're curious about, or that you even feel maybe uncomfortable about acknowledging. Maybe there's one that gives you a little bit of surprise. So now I want you to go a little bit deeper. When you think of that quality, maybe you think, oh, I'm funny, or I'm smart, or I make really good cookies. I'm so glad that I'm able to go for walks and I have a healthy body. When you think about all these things and you pick one that you want to explore, I want to ask you how that quality enriches your life. If I think about my idea of creativity, that I really am grateful for creativity, how does it enrich my life? It informs everything I do. It informs how I think, the art I make, what I do for a living. It's part of how I've related to my family growing up and now. The next question is, what value does this bring to you? And creativity brings such a wealth of knowledge and understanding. Art as a way of knowing has deeply enriched my life. And finally, ask yourself, how does this quality benefit other people? I think my creativity benefits everyone that I work with. When I coach them on creativity and help them use their creative process in leadership, there's a real benefit that it allows women to live the way they want to live. So I just want to summarize a little bit about gratitude, appreciation, and living your purpose so that you can overcome some of these blocks that we all experience. So remember, gratitude is being thankful for what is. It's recognizing what's good outside of us. It's about seeing goodness, returning kindness, just recognizing there's so much good in the world that we get to experience. Now, appreciation is deeper. It's noticing the benefits of all of these good things. I can be grateful for my creativity, but when I appreciate it, it goes deep. I start to feel the appreciation in a different way. Appreciation is also just loving how you and other people benefit from this good inside of you. When we hold it back, we're also withholding from others. When you think about using your gratitude and self-appreciation to overcome blocks, you can use your self-appreciation to create inspired actions. And I mean uncovering, enhancing, and sharing your strengths. It also includes removing lack of gratitude. For the most part, the more we focus on gratitude, the lack of gratitude naturally falls away. So thoughts and actions that show we're upset we didn't get something, or something's not going the way we thought that it should, or we're trying to control something, those things start to fall away the more we focus on what's going right. I have read this poem, this quote to the women in the membership 3 times this month, because I think each time we hear it, we can use it and hear it in a different way. It's Deepak Chopra, and I've read it here. Gratitude opens the door to the power, the wisdom, the creativity of the universe. If you think about appreciating yourself and appreciating your purpose, it might be time to really revisit your modern creative why. That's what the women inside the membership call it, when we focus so deeply on our values and why we're doing what we're doing, the thing that guides us and inspires us. So when you reflect on your aspirations and what's inspiring you to make moves in your life, if you're stuck, a really important question to ask is, how are you uniquely suited to live this value, to live your purpose? It really is like only you can do it the way that you do it. There is no one else who can do it in the same way. So self-appreciation can give you the confidence to take action, to not wait 3 years to make a change, to focus instead on inspired actions instead of creative blocks. One really powerful tool that you can use to enhance your own self-appreciation, which enhances your connections to others, helps you remove your personal blocks, is sharing your appreciation. If you think about every morning, what do I want to share in terms of appreciation with others? Will I smile at everyone I see? I could say hello to everyone I pass on my walk. I like to make a list every day and figure out who I would like to appreciate. I might text them. I might imagine just when I come across a stranger, when I'm on my walk, saying hello. It's about giving it to someone else, right? If something you want about appreciation, you got to give it to someone else. So you could appreciate the weather. You could appreciate, it's warm or cold, or that you're happy about something. It's just passing it along to someone else gives you as much as it gives them. Withholding that self-appreciation makes it more difficult to connect and appreciate with others. So for those of you who have been working on the 21-day gratitude challenge, what was it like for you to focus on gratitude? What were the surprising benefits for you? And I'm really curious to know what you might do next with your gratitude. And I hope that you'll focus on deepening your gratitude into appreciation and really allow yourself to feel this whole other way of loving yourself and then taking that out into the world. That kind of experience can allow those creative blocks, writer's blocks, decision blocks to melt away. It becomes much more clear what's important. Usually what's not important is thinking about it longer or ruminating on something. Taking action on your values is really clear once you can appreciate yourself for wherever you are, begin to share it with others, and start to take some committed action towards what's most important to you. Self-appreciation just might be the missing ingredient for you to overcome your blocks. Have a wonderful rest of your week. And now that you know how important self-appreciation is for connecting with others and for taking inspired action, what will you create? Do come join me and the Modern Creative Woman on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest at Dr. Amy Backos. And if you like what you're hearing on the Modern Creative Woman podcast, I want to give you the scoop on how you can support it. You can be an ambassador and just share the podcast link with 3 of your friends. You could be a community supporter by leaving a 5-star review if you think it's worth the 5 stars. And of course, you can become a Gold Star supporter for as little as $3 a month. All those links are in the show notes. So grab your free copy of the 21-Day Gratitude Challenge. Have a wonderful week, and I cannot wait to talk with you again in the next episode about the art and science of your creativity. I'll see you next time.